Welcome back to Numis Nook Coins. You know that old is gold, but these rare Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickels coins that are most valuable than you think. Don't spend these nickels. You are lucky if you have one of these. So please watch complete video for numismatic treasure. Let's start this. Imagine holding a nickel worth more than a Lamborghini. Sounds crazy, right? But what if I told you that a small, ordinary-looking coin minted in 2002, a Jefferson nickel with a missing D mint mark, has recently been valued at a staggering $683,000. That's not a typo. $683,000. For a 5-cent coin, you might be sitting on a fortune right now and not even know it. This isn't some fantasy. This is real, verifiable, and happening across the US right under our noses. That little drawer full of change in your kitchen? It could be the key to unlocking generational wealth. Now, before you start tearing apart your couch cushions, stick with me because in the next few minutes you'll discover exactly what makes this 2002 Jefferson nickel so special, how to identify it, why it's in massive demand, and how you can turn forgotten change into real, bankable cash. And hey, if you've ever looked at your retirement account and thought, there's got to be another way, well, this is it. What's the big deal about a missing mint mark? Great question. Let's rewind the clock. In 2002. The U.S. Mint in Denver produced millions of Jefferson nickels. But due to an ultra-rare minting error, a very limited batch left the facility without the D mint mark, which is supposed to signify that it was struck in Denver. In numismatic terms, this is known as a mint error, but to collectors, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Why does this matter? Because scarcity drives value. And when you have a coin that not only is a mistake but a verified, government-issued mistake, demand explodes. In fact, the few known examples of the 2002 D Jefferson nickel without the mint mark have fetched astronomical sums in recent auctions. One was recently appraised at, yes, you guessed it, $683,000. And here's where it gets exciting. This coin looks almost exactly like every other nickel in circulation. That means it's highly likely that dozens, maybe hundreds, are still out there, maybe even in your pocket right now. Now, if you're thinking, what if I accidentally spent mine on a cup of gas station coffee? Yeah, that feeling in your gut? That's the kind of urgency collectors feel every day. The fear of missing out on wealth hiding in plain sight. And let's be real, this might be the only time in your life when finding 5 cents on the sidewalk could actually be worth more than your 401k. Seriously, this changes everything about the way we think of loose change. Now, you're probably wondering how you can tell if your Jefferson nickel is one of the golden tickets. That's coming up. Don't blink. Let's talk identification. The 2002 D Jefferson nickel without the mint mark looks identical to the standard coin, except for one critical flaw. The D below the year is completely missing. Not scratched off, not worn out, but never stamped at all. Check your coins. You don't need special tools. Just good lighting, a magnifying glass, and a little patience. Look for the year 2002 on the obverse, the front. Below Jefferson's bust, if the mint mark is missing, your heart might just skip a beat. But here's where many people make the mistake of going to pawn shops or quick cash buyers. Don't do it. If you find one of these coins, your first move should be getting it professionally graded and authenticated. This ensures you get the highest possible value at auction. You're not selling a coin. You're releasing a piece of American history to the highest bidder. And trust me, bidders are waiting. With coin collecting on a massive rise, fueled by millennials and boomers alike, rare errors like this are more than just curiosities, they're investment assets. There's real wealth being transferred in this space. You want in? This is your chance. Now imagine this, you find the coin. You get it appraised. And a few weeks later, you're sitting across from an auctioneer who's about to start the bidding at 6 figures. How does that moment feel? That's not just money. It's freedom. It's the moment everything changes. You might be wondering, what other coins are out there worth big money? Stay tuned, because in our next video, we're uncovering 3 more coins that could be sitting in your house right now, each worth over $1 million. One of them is a penny. So before you toss another nickel into a tip jar, take a second look. The 2002 no mint mark Jefferson nickel isn't just rare. It's the financial wake-up call most Americans never knew they needed. And here's the truth. Opportunities like this don't last. As more people find and claim these coins, the window closes. Don't let someone else cash in on the wealth that could have been yours. Subscribe right now if you want to uncover the secrets of coin collecting, build real wealth, and turn forgotten change into a life of financial freedom. Leave a comment below if you've got any old coins. We might just feature your story next. Have you ever looked at a handful of coins, maybe some loose change from the bottom of a drawer, and wondered, what if one of these could change my life? Imagine stumbling upon a single nickel, yes, a 5-cent piece. That's not only rare but could be worth over $580,000 today. That's not a typo. A tiny coin, minted in the year 2000 with a simple P mint mark, is turning everyday people into six-figure earners, practically overnight. You're probably thinking, how can a coin that's barely 2 decades old be worth more than some houses? Great question, and we're about to unpack the extraordinary story behind the 2000 P Jefferson nickel-era coin. A coin that has collectors scrambling, auction houses buzzing, and sellers celebrating windfalls they never saw coming. But before we dive in, ask yourself this. What if you've been sitting on a fortune all along and didn't even know it? Let's rewind to the year 2000. The world was shifting into a new millennium, and the US Mint was producing millions of coins, routine stuff. But somewhere during one of those standard production runs at the Philadelphia Mint, something went wrong. Or depending on how you look at it, something went incredibly right. A batch of Jefferson nickels was struck with a mysterious die error. Some believe it was an off-center strike. Others say it was a double die or planchet flaw, but what's undeniable is this. These coins were not ordinary. Now here's where it gets exciting. This error, combined with the coin's date and mint mark, has turned the 2000 P nickel into a white-hot commodity. It's not just collectors that want it. Investors are eyeing these coins as hard assets. Coins in pristine condition, especially those certified with a high MS, mint state, grade by NGC or PCGS, have fetched up to $580,000 at major auctions. And demand is not slowing down. If anything, it's gaining momentum as more people wake up to the untapped fortune in their coin jars. But here's the cliffhanger. How do you know if your nickel is one of them? What are the exact signs to look for? We'll get to that in just a moment, and trust me, you'll want to grab a magnifying glass, or at least stick around until we break it all down. Now, I know what you're thinking. A nickel worth $500,000? That sounds like something your cousin Earl made up at Thanksgiving. But no, this isn't some myth from the internet's dark corners or a trick from an old guy with a metal detector. These are real auction results. Real money. And yes, Earl probably still owes you $40. And if you're wondering whether only coin geeks with microscopes can find them, guess again. One of the highest valued coins was discovered in a regular pocket change haul, tucked in with dimes, pennies, and quarters. The owner? A 63-year-old retired teacher who hadn't checked her coin stash in years. She's now comfortably enjoying her second home in Florida. So how do you join the ranks of people turning coins into cash? And not just any cash, but wealth building, lifestyle upgrading, legacy creating cash? It starts with awareness. Go check your 2000 P nickels. Look for anomalies, odd spacing, doubled images, off-center features, unusual textures. If anything looks different, get it appraised or graded by a reputable third-party service like PCGS or NGC. And here's the real kicker. The coin market is hotter than ever. With inflation climbing and more people shifting from stocks to tangible assets, rare coins are being seen as smart, recession-proof investments. There's a surge in demand, and values are climbing like never before. That means the time to act is now. Not next week. Not someday. Today. Every day that nickel sits unrecognized is a day you could be missing out on financial freedom. Think of what $580,000 could mean for you. Paying off debt, starting a dream business, retiring early, or maybe it's just the comfort of knowing that your rainy day fund is built on something no one else can duplicate. A rare, irreplaceable piece of American minting history. Now, you're probably wondering, what other coins might you have that are worth a fortune? If one nickel can bring in $500,000, imagine what a box of old change might hold. In our next video, we're going to reveal the top 5 coins hiding in plain sight that could be worth millions. So hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and most importantly, go check your change. Because somewhere, someone just found a 2000 P Jefferson nickel, and now they're on a beach sipping something cold, while you're still watching videos wondering what if. Imagine reaching into your old coin jar, pulling out a dusty nickel from 1995, and realizing it could be worth more than your house. No joke. One of these unassuming 5-cent Jefferson nickels, specifically the rare 1995 P Mint Mark error variety, has recently rocked the numismatic world with a jaw-dropping market value of $588,000. Yes, you heard that right, $500,000 for a nickel. What most people overlook as spare change is now creating millionaires, quietly, without warning. But here's the kicker. Most Americans have no idea what they're holding in their drawers, jars, or childhood coin collections. These coins aren't hiding in museums. They're in basements, in glove boxes, maybe even right in your kitchen. And while others are watching their retirement dreams disappear in market crashes, savvy coin owners are cashing in big, because they know what to look for. So, the question is, do you? Now before you shrug this off thinking, nah, my coins can't be worth that, let me ask you something a little uncomfortable. What if you're wrong? What if you've been sitting on life-changing wealth and never even knew it? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes you'll not only discover why this rare 1995 P Jefferson nickel is commanding six-figure prices, but also how to identify one and where to sell it for top dollar. This isn't just a story about coins, it's a story about opportunity, timing, and legacy. The 1995 P Jefferson nickel might look like an ordinary coin, but its true value lies in an extremely rare mint error, one that escaped unnoticed from the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia. This error, often related to a dramatic double die or an off-center strike, creates a visual anomaly that collectors lose sleep over. We're talking about the kind of mistake that turns a 5-cent piece into a luxury car on your palm. The 1995 P error is so scarce that top auction houses report fierce bidding wars when one surfaces. So what makes this coin so valuable? It's not just the error. It's the combination of rarity, historical timing, and pristine condition. With collectors becoming more aggressive and baby boomers now liquidating estates, demand is at an all-time high, and supply, painfully limited. When rarity meets obsession, values skyrocket. And right now, this exact coin is riding a tidal wave of demand. You see, coin collectors aren't the dusty old stereotype anymore. They're investors, entrepreneurs, even influencers, and they know something crucial. Rare coins are one of the last untapped assets in plain sight. Think about it. Wouldn't it feel good to fund your next property, your dream vacation, or even your retirement just by uncovering the right nickel in your collection? Let's pause for a second. If someone told you 10 years ago that a single Beanie Baby could be worth $10,000, you'd probably laugh. But now we see it all the time. So why not coins? Why not your coins? Maybe it's time to look again, carefully. Now here's the exciting twist. This isn't just a story of past sales and missed chances. The 1995 P era nickel is still out there. And right now, buyers and auction houses are actively searching for them. In fact, one was evaluated just weeks ago, certified by PCGS, and valued at over $500,000. That's not just a price. It's a wake-up call. What would you do if you found this coin today? Would you know where to go? Would you trust the right dealer? Or would you let it collect dust until the opportunity passed? Here's what I recommend. As soon as this video ends, go grab your coins. Search your boxes, your change jars, your inherited collections. Look for that 1995 P nickel, especially if it shows any strange marks, doubling, or off-center features. Don't dismiss anything. Take high-resolution photos. And when you're ready, consult a professional grader or auction house. Your goal? Certification, appraisal, and possibly a life-changing payday. Because this isn't just about money, it's about freedom. About rewriting your story from something ordinary into something legendary. Maybe you've worked your whole life. Maybe you've sacrificed time, energy, and dreams. Isn't it time something finally pays off big? And hey, quick question. Why does everyone rush to scratch lottery tickets, but ignore the actual treasure sitting in their drawer? Don't be that person who finds out too late. The 1995 P nickel isn't just a rare coin. It's a rare moment. And moments like these don't wait. So subscribe if you want to keep unlocking hidden wealth in your coins. And if you think someone you love might have old change lying around, share this video now. Your next call could be to an auction house, not your boss. And wouldn't that be something? Imagine holding a nickel worth more than a Lamborghini. Sounds crazy, right? But what if I told you that a small, ordinary-looking coin minted in 2002, a Jefferson nickel with a missing D mint mark, has recently been valued at a staggering $683,000. That's not a typo. $683,000. For a 5-cent coin, you might be sitting on a fortune right now and not even know it. This isn't some fantasy. This is real, verifiable, and happening across the US right under our noses. That little drawer full of change in your kitchen? It could be the key to unlocking generational wealth. Now, before you start tearing apart your couch cushions, stick with me because in the next few minutes you'll discover exactly what makes this 2002 Jefferson nickel so special, how to identify it, why it's in massive demand, and how you can turn forgotten change into real, bankable cash. And hey, if you've ever looked at your retirement account and thought, there's got to be another way, well, this is it. What's the big deal about a missing mint mark? Great question. Let's rewind the clock. In 2002. The U.S. Mint in Denver produced millions of Jefferson nickels. But due to an ultra-rare minting error, a very limited batch left the facility without the D mint mark, which is supposed to signify that it was struck in Denver. In numismatic terms, this is known as a mint error, but to collectors, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Why does this matter? Because scarcity drives value. And when you have a coin that not only is a mistake but a verified, government-issued mistake, demand explodes. In fact, the few known examples of the 2002 D Jefferson nickel without the mint mark have fetched astronomical sums in recent auctions. One was recently appraised at, yes, you guessed it, $683,000. And here's where it gets exciting. This coin looks almost exactly like every other nickel in circulation. That means it's highly likely that dozens, maybe hundreds, are still out there, maybe even in your pocket right now. Now, if you're thinking, what if I accidentally spent mine on a cup of gas station coffee? Yeah, that feeling in your gut? That's the kind of urgency collectors feel every day. The fear of missing out on wealth hiding in plain sight. And let's be real, this might be the only time in your life when finding 5 cents on the sidewalk could actually be worth more than your 401k. Seriously, this changes everything about the way we think of loose change. Now, you're probably wondering how you can tell if your Jefferson nickel is one of the golden tickets. That's coming up. Don't blink. Let's talk identification. The 2002 D Jefferson nickel without the mint mark looks identical to the standard coin, except for one critical flaw. The D below the year is completely missing. Not scratched off, not worn out, but never stamped at all. To check your coins, you don't need special tools. Just good lighting, a magnifying glass, and a little patience. Look for the year 2002 on the obverse, the front. Below Jefferson's bust, if the mint mark is missing, your heart might just skip a beat. But here's where many people make the mistake of going to pawn shops or quick cash buyers. Don't do it. If you find one of these coins, your first move should be getting it professionally graded and authenticated. This ensures you get the highest possible value at auction. You're not selling a coin. You're releasing a piece of American history to the highest bidder. And trust me, bidders are waiting. With coin collecting on a massive rise, fueled by millennials and boomers alike, rare errors like this are more than just curiosities, they're investment assets. There's real wealth being transferred in this space. You want in? This is your chance. Now imagine this, you find the coin. You get it appraised. And a few weeks later, you're sitting across from an auctioneer who's about to start the bidding at 6 figures. How does that moment feel? That's not just money. It's freedom. It's the moment everything changes. You might be wondering, what other coins are out there worth big money? Stay tuned, because in our next video, we're uncovering 3 more coins that could be sitting in your house right now, each worth over $1 million. One of them is a penny. So before you toss another nickel into a tip jar, take a second look. The 2002 no mint mark Jefferson nickel isn't just rare. It's the financial wake-up call most Americans never knew they needed. And here's the truth. Opportunities like this don't last. As more people find and claim these coins, the window closes. Don't let someone else cash in on the wealth that could have been yours. Subscribe right now if you want to uncover the secrets of coin collecting, build real wealth, and turn forgotten change into a life of financial freedom. Leave a comment below if you've got any old coins. We might just feature your story next. Imagine holding what you think is just an old nickel, maybe lying forgotten in a jar, stuffed in a drawer, or mixed in with the spare change in your car. Now imagine that same coin is worth $688,000. Yes, nearly $750,000. Sounds like a dream, right? But for some lucky individuals across America, this isn't fantasy. It's real. Welcome to the fascinating and often shocking world of rare coin errors, where something as unassuming as a 1989 Jefferson nickel with a P mint mark could unlock a life of luxury, freedom, and wealth. If you've ever thought about selling your old coins, or if you've got that gut feeling you're sitting on something valuable, then this video is your wake-up call. Because today we're diving deep into one of the most electrifying finds in modern U.S. coin history, the 1989 P. Jefferson nickel error, and why its market value just shot up to a jaw-dropping $688,000. Yes, that's 6 figures from a 5-cent piece. But here's the kicker, this isn't some obscure collector's whisper. This nickel is in high demand, and the clock is ticking. Collectors, auction houses, and high-net-worth buyers are hunting aggressively. So the question is, do you have one of these sleeping giants? Or are you about to let your fortune slip away unknowingly? Let's rewind for a moment. The year is 1989. The Cold War is cooling, the Berlin Wall is falling, and the U.S. Mint is producing millions of Jefferson nickels in Philadelphia, stamped with the modest P mint mark, most of them worth exactly what they say, 5 cents. But a rare few were struck with dramatic minting errors. We're talking off-center strikes, double dies, improper metal planchettes, and even wild anomalies where 2 coins seem fused together. Now, why should that matter to you? Because when a coin like this slips through the cracks of the U.S. Mint's famously strict quality control, it instantly becomes a numismatic treasure. These aren't mere imperfections, they're one-of-a-kind masterpieces, valued not just for their rarity, but for their story, their symbolism, and their status in the eyes of elite collectors. Just this year, one of these flawed yet flawless 1989 P. Jefferson nickels was authenticated and sold for a breathtaking $688,000 at auction. That's not hype, that's history in the making. And here's something that might make your coffee jump out of your hand. Many of these coins are still out there, in boxes, in closets, in hands like yours. Could you be unknowingly hoarding a fortune? So let's talk about what this means for you. If you've inherited a coin collection, if you've been stacking spare change for years, or if you've simply got a handful of old nickels rattling around, it's time to get serious. Because every day, more people are waking up to find out they've been sitting on 6-figure windfalls. Here's the truth. The coin market is experiencing a massive boom. Demand is surging. Prices are climbing. Collectors are paying premiums not just for age, but for uniqueness, and error coins like the 1989 P. Jefferson nickel are skyrocketing in value. But here's the twist, and consider this your cliffhanger, not all 1989 P nickels are created equal. There are specific signs, secret clues, and hidden flaws that make some worth millions, and others just pocket change. And in our next video, we're going to break down exactly what to look for, from rim doubling to misalignment to strike zones, so you don't miss out. But for now, here's your takeaway. Don't underestimate what you own. That little nickel might be your passport to a whole new lifestyle. One that includes early retirement, dream vacations, or finally launching that business you've been putting off. So check your jars. Revisit those coin folders. Dig through that old safe. And remember, your financial breakthrough might be 5 cents away if you found this video eye-opening. And I know you did. Subscribe right now and turn on the bell. Because next, we're unveiling the top 3 most valuable error nickels hiding in plain sight, including one that's worth over $1 million. Still think you don't have treasure? Stick around. The next coin could be your golden ticket. If you're serious about living the wealthy life you deserve, and you know you've got something special sitting at home, don't let this moment pass you by. Drop a comment if you've ever come across a 1989 P nickel, and share this video with someone who collects coins. You might just help them strike it rich. Until next time, keep searching, keep believing, and remember, wealth doesn't always come from hard work. Sometimes it's already in your hands. You're digging through an old jar of nickels from your grandfather's collection, and one small, unassuming coin changes your life forever. A 1987 D. Jefferson nickel? Face value? just 5 cents. But today, it's shaking up the collector's market with a jaw-dropping value of $659,000. That's not a typo. Over $500,000 for a coin most people overlook every single day. Welcome to a world hidden in plain sight, a world where history, metal, and mystery collide to create unexpected wealth. Today, we're diving into the story behind one of the most sought-after coin errors in recent American history. And if you're someone who's held onto old change, thinking it might someday be worth something, this is your wake-up call. It all starts with a mint mark. The 1987 D. Jefferson nickel was struck at the Denver Mint, a facility known for precision. But even the best systems have their secrets. Somewhere along the production line, a coin was created with a dramatic minting error. An error so rare, so technically impossible under normal quality checks, that its survival feels like destiny. Now, let's pause here for a moment. Why would a tiny imperfection cause such a massive valuation spike? Because in numismatics, the elite world of coin collecting, errors mean opportunity. Especially when those errors are 1 in a billion mistakes, preserved through time, unnoticed in drawers, and only recently unearthed by sharp-eyed collectors. This specific 1987 D. Jefferson nickel is a coin that carries what experts call a double strike with full brockage, a technical anomaly that transforms this common coin into a treasure of staggering value. But here's the kicker. It wasn't discovered by an expert at Sotheby's. It wasn't locked away in a museum vault. It was found by a regular person. Someone like you. Let's be honest. How many times have you emptied your pockets, tossed a few nickels into a drawer, and moved on with your day? What if one of those nickels could change your life? What if that forgotten coin in your junk drawer could be the golden ticket to early retirement, debt freedom, or your dream home? Now, here's where things get thrilling. The coin market is exploding. Since 2023, demand for rare U.S. coinage has surged as more Americans wake up to the truth. Everyday coins might just hold extraordinary wealth. Collectors and investors are hungry, aggressively bidding for certified errors. And the 1987 D. Jefferson nickel has just become the poster child of this boom. If you're feeling that tingle in your spine right now, it's not your imagination. That's excitement. And yes, a little fear. Because if this coin is out there, it means you might already have one. Or worse, maybe you spent it on coffee 10 years ago. Don't let another day go by without checking. By the way, ever wonder what kind of person finds a coin like this? Usually, it's not a historian or a billionaire collector. It's a retired veteran, a grandmother cleaning out a desk, a teacher sorting change for class. The only difference between them and you, they look. So what happens now? You've got the story. You've got the goosebumps. And if you're like the thousands watching this channel, you're holding a small box of coins right now, suddenly suspicious of that stack of nickels from 1987. Good. That's the point. Because the window to cash in on these coins is now. With prices soaring and auctions climbing past the $500,000 mark, this is no longer a collector's game. It's an investor's market. And your role? Seller, holder, maybe even the next millionaire from the world of old American change. And here's where you stay with me, because in the final seconds of this video, I'm going to reveal a clue that helps identify if your 1987 D nickel is the one. But first, a quick pause. Are you letting this moment pass you by? Are you still skeptical, thinking this is too good to be true? Quick reality check. Have you ever questioned why your old coins seem different than modern ones? Have you noticed unusual details? Flattened features? Off-center images? Or ghostly double profiles? That's not damage. That could be value. Still not convinced? Here's a fun one. Ask your friends if they'd trade a nickel for $500,000. They'll laugh until you show them this video. Now, here's the detail that could set your coin apart. The error involves a full second strike on one face of the nickel, creating a mirrored ghost image, visible even without a magnifying glass. If your 1987 D nickel has that, well, you may want to sit down before you get it appraised. So go check. Don't wait. Don't scroll. Because while you're watching this, another collector might already be on their way to auctioning the coin you wish you'd noticed sooner. And if you find it, your future might just start with 5 cents and end in 7 figures. Stay curious, stay wealthy, and remember, your change could change everything. If you found value in this video, subscribe for weekly updates on rare coins and hidden treasures. Leave a comment if you've got old coins you're curious about, and don't forget to share this with someone who's always saving their change. Because together we're building not just wealth, but a legacy. What if I told you that a tiny 5-cent coin sitting in an old drawer could be your golden ticket to over $500,000? That's right, a single 1989 Jefferson nickel with a rare and elusive mint error recently sparked a bidding war and is now commanding a jaw-dropping price tag of $583,000. Yes, a nickel. Not a silver dollar, not a gold eagle, a humble nickel minted in Denver. Welcome to the thrilling world of rare U.S. coin collecting, where overlooked change can unlock unimaginable wealth. Now, before you scoff and say, "Come on, it's just a nickel," ask yourself this. What other everyday object in your house right now could be worth over $500,000 without you even knowing it? Scary, isn't it? Or exciting? The truth is, coins like the 1989 Jefferson nickel are hiding in plain sight, often tossed aside or cashed in without a second thought. But for those with the knowledge, the timing, and the sharp eye, these coins are the keys to a life of freedom, abundance, and yes, serious wealth. Let me take you on a journey today. Because this story isn't just about a rare coin. It's about missed opportunities, untapped fortune, and how one tiny error in the U.S. Mint became the dream come true for collectors and sellers alike. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to identify this error, how to find it, and most importantly, how to sell it for maximum value. Let's rewind to 1989, the year the Berlin Wall fell, the Nintendo Game Boy launched, and the Denver Mint quietly struck millions of Jefferson nickels. But among the standard batch, a few, just a precious few, were minted with a critical flaw. A striking error so rare that even seasoned collectors raised their eyebrows. These coins display dramatic die errors, often involving off-center strikes, missing elements, or double dies, all of which amplify their value astronomically. Now, here's where it gets wild. One of these 1989 D-era nickels surfaced at a high-profile auction, and after intense back-and-forth bidding, it shattered all expectations, reaching a stunning sale price of $583,000. That's not a typo. That's the price someone paid to own this nickel, and believe it or not, experts say it was worth it. Why? Because demand for error coins is exploding. The coin market is no longer just for hobbyists. It's become a battleground for investors, historians, and millionaires trying to own a piece of rarity. So what does this mean for you? It means the stakes are higher than ever. It means those jars of coins sitting in garages, attics, and old boxes across America might be harboring undiscovered treasure. It means that if you're not looking, someone else is, and they're cashing in. Think of it like this. Every day you wait to go through your change is a day someone else is collecting your payday. And don't worry if you don't have a background in numismatics. You don't need to be a coin geek to find success. All you need is knowledge, the right strategy, and yes, a bit of luck. But as we both know, luck favors the informed. Now let's talk specifics. The 1989 Jefferson nickel in question typically shows a deep die clash or a broad strike, and it's these tiny anomalies that drive up the price. These errors are easy to miss unless you know what to look for. That's why coin dealers and grading services are on high alert for these coins, and why collectors are willing to pay a small fortune to add one to their portfolio. There's even a growing waitlist of buyers eager to get their hands on one, meaning if you find one today, you could sell it almost instantly. But here's the cliffhanger. Experts believe that several of these error coins are still out there, undiscovered, undervalued, sitting quietly in old coin rolls, estate collections, or even your childhood piggy bank. Can you feel it? That surge of urgency? Because time is of the essence. As awareness spreads, more people are hunting, and once these coins hit the market, their rarity only increases their worth. And let's not forget, this isn't just about making money. It's about reclaiming your power. It's about living life on your terms, turning forgotten relics into real wealth and setting yourself up for a lifestyle most only dream about. Luxury, security, freedom, all from a 5-cent piece. So here's your next move. Check your coin jars, your grandparents' stashes, estate sales, flea markets. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Because while others are letting opportunity pass them by, you'll know better. You'll be ready. And if you find one, oh, you better believe we want to hear your story, because we'll feature it in an upcoming video. Now hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell. Because next week, we're diving into another coin that's quietly worth over $1 million. You won't want to miss it. Have you ever handed over a handful of change and unknowingly given away a coin worth over $500,000? Imagine this: one morning, you're cleaning out that dusty coin jar in your kitchen, sorting nickels like it's any other day. But what if, buried beneath the ordinary, lies a rare 1984 Jefferson nickel with an astonishing mint error? An error so valuable, its current market worth has exploded to $683,000. Yes, $683,000 for a single 5-cent coin. Seems impossible? Not at all. The truth is, collectors and investors across the country are on the hunt, right now, for rare coins like this one, quietly turning everyday Americans into overnight success stories. This isn't a lottery ticket. This is real, tangible wealth. And it might already be in your home, waiting to be discovered. The 1984 Jefferson nickel isn't just any coin. It's a numismatic marvel. Produced at the Philadelphia Mint, this 5-cent piece holds a critical error, one that elevates it from spare change to national treasure. This isn't about age, it's about anomaly. A rare mint error during production caused a dramatic flaw, making this nickel a prized possession for elite collectors. You see, it's these imperfections, die cracks, off-center strikes, double dies, that make certain coins incredibly rare and insanely valuable. Think of it like this: if perfection is the norm, then rarity lives in the beautiful chaos of mistakes. And this coin is the Mona Lisa of modern mint errors. Now, let me pause here for a second because I know what you're thinking. It's just a nickel. I probably used one last week to buy gum. Yep, and that gum might have cost you a down payment on a lake house. Let that sink. So how do you know if you've got one? Well, that's where things get exciting. This particular 1984 nickel error typically reveals signs like a dramatic die clash or ghost-like impressions from faulty striking. But it takes a trained eye, or at least a curious one, to see the difference between pocket change and life-changing value. The beauty of this discovery lies in its accessibility. Unlike gold bars or fine art, this treasure doesn't sit behind velvet ropes. It lives in your junk drawers, your sock drawers, and yes, your grandmother's old purse. And while collectors are willing to shell out hundreds of thousands, the supply is drying up fast. This is a high-demand market driven by rarity, nostalgia, and the irresistible idea that something so small can be worth so much. It's not just collectors who want these coins anymore. Investors, hedge fund managers, even celebrities are getting involved. This is modern gold rush territory. And here's the twist that'll really blow your mind. One of these coins just sold at auction, and the final bid? $683,000. The coin didn't even look perfect. That's the magic of an error. It's not about mint shine. It's about story, scarcity, and surprise. But here's the kicker. Only a handful of these coins are known to exist, and more are still out there, tucked away in forgotten coin folders or being unknowingly carried in wallets across America. Could one of them be in your possession? Now let's talk about what this all means for you. If you're watching this, chances are you have an interest in rare coins, generational wealth, or maybe you're just tired of working hard with nothing to show for it. And guess what? You're not alone. Thousands of Americans are waking up to the reality that the road to a wealthy lifestyle doesn't always begin with a business loan or stock portfolio. It can start with something as humble as a nickel. This is more than just a story about a coin. It's a story about opportunity, about transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary, about taking control of your financial future using what you already have. The clock is ticking, and every day that passes is another day someone else cashes in while you might still be overlooking your own hidden fortune. Okay, quick reality check. When was the last time you even looked at a nickel? Be honest. You probably avoid them like pennies, right? But after today, you'll never look at your change the same way again. Suddenly, every clink in your pocket sounds a little more like possibility. Here's what's coming up in the next video. We'll break down exactly how to authenticate one of these 1984 Jefferson nickels, which grading services to trust, and how to sell yours for top dollar without getting lowballed. Because knowledge is power, but execution, that's profit. So don't just leave this video and go back to scrolling. This moment could be the start of your coin collecting empire. your big break, or the key to unlocking a debt-free future? Go check that coin jar. Pull out the old collection. And stay tuned, because the treasure hunt has only just begun. Your dream lifestyle might be hiding in your change, but it won't wait forever. Subscribe, stay curious, and remember, sometimes the smallest things hold the biggest value. You just need to look close enough. What if I told you that an ordinary-looking nickel sitting in your kitchen drawer could be worth nearly $500,000? Yes, just 5 cents, potentially turning into $483,000 overnight. It's not a fantasy. It's not a collector's pipe dream. It's a fact, and today we're diving into the 1981 Jefferson nickel that's rocking the numismatic world and making everyday Americans extremely wealthy. So before you spend your next coin at the grocery store, you might want to watch this to the very end. You could be sitting on a gold mine without even knowing it. Back in 1981, as the U.S. economy was riding the waves of inflation and Reagan had just stepped into office, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia quietly produced a series of nickels. Nothing seemed extraordinary at first, until years later, a handful of these coins revealed a flaw so rare, so valuable, that seasoned collectors would pay fortunes just to get their hands on one of these mysterious nickels, bearing the modest P Mint mark from Philadelphia, would later be sold for a staggering $483,000. Not because it was made of gold, not because it was encrusted in diamonds, but because of an error, an elusive, beautiful flaw that turned it into a treasure. And guess what? These coins weren't made for royalty. They were meant for gas stations, vending machines, and yes, your pocket. Now let me ask you, when was the last time you checked your change? The 1981 Jefferson nickel is no ordinary coin. In fact, what makes this one so valuable is an extremely rare die error, a misstrike or design anomaly that happened during the minting process. We're talking double dies, misplaced mint marks, or die clashing so unique that it turns a common nickel into a once-in-a-lifetime investment. Think of it as a factory glitch that accidentally produced money worth more than some houses in America. Now here's where it gets exciting. Most people have absolutely no idea what to look for. They overlook these errors every single day. That's why this opportunity is still very real and very profitable for those who know how to spot it. Imagine the thrill of finding a 5-cent coin in your change jar and realizing it's a $500,000 ticket to your dream lifestyle. Early retirement, travel, debt-free living, and all it took? A simple glance at your old coin collection. By the way, did you know that someone once spent a rare error nickel on a bag of chips? That's got to be the most expensive snack in history. Seriously, if you've ever lost a nickel between your car seats, it might be time to start searching. That could be the most profitable seat cleanup of your life. But you might be asking, why now? Why is this coin worth so much today? Here's the answer: demand. The rare coin market is booming. Collectors are no longer just old guys with magnifying glasses in dusty basements. They're tech investors, entrepreneurs, and global buyers pouring real money into rare U.S. coinage as tangible assets. And when it comes to U.S. coins with confirmed error types from the 1980s, the 1981 nickel is among the holy grails. The recent sale at $483,000 wasn't a fluke. It was a signal that this coin isn't just rare. It's historically significant and financially explosive. So here's the million-dollar question. Do you have one? Because right now, this very moment, there are collectors and dealers actively seeking this exact coin. There's urgency in the market, and every day, fewer and fewer of these coins are left in circulation. If you've inherited a jar of old coins from your parents, or if you've got a stash in the attic, this is your wake-up call. Check every 1981 Jefferson nickel you come across. Look for the P Mint mark. Analyze the coin's surface for doubling, misplaced elements, or any unusual design anomalies. And if you're unsure, don't guess. Have it professionally graded. Could be the difference between 5 cents and $500,000. Imagine selling one coin and finally upgrading your lifestyle. No loans, no bosses, no limits. Maybe it's time you become that person. The one who turned a coin into a legacy. Now, I know what you're thinking. What if I don't have this one? What other coins could I be missing? Well, you'd be shocked at what's hiding in plain sight. In our next video, we uncover a Roosevelt dime worth over $300,000, and no one's talking about it. Trust me, You do not want to miss that, so here's your mission. Go check your coins. Start with your 1981 nickels. And if you find something that looks off, something unique, don't throw it back in the jar. That tiny imperfection could be your biggest financial breakthrough. Imagine stumbling upon a single coin, a plain-looking nickel from 1961 with no mint mark, that turns out to be worth nearly $700,000. Sounds like a fantasy, right? But it's very real. What if that coin was already in your possession, buried in a dusty old jar, resting in your father's collection, or tucked away in a drawer you haven't opened in years? The US 1961 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel has shocked the coin-collecting world, and if you own one, your life could change overnight. Welcome to a journey that might just turn pocket change into life-changing wealth. Today, we uncover the remarkable story behind this seemingly ordinary 5-cent coin that has the power to make you financially free. If you're between the ages of 30 and 65 and have ever dreamed of finally selling that old coin collection, this video is your wake-up call. Because one coin could fund your dream house, pay off every bill you have, or even allow you to retire early, and it could be sitting right under your nose. Let's rewind to 1961. John F. Kennedy had just taken office, the Cold War was intensifying, and millions of Jefferson nickels were being minted. Most were regular, mass-produced coins, but a very small number were struck with such rare, shocking flaws and characteristics that today, they are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. The coin we're talking about today? The elusive 1961 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark, a coin that has stunned collectors with auction values reaching a staggering $688,000. Now, don't mistake no mint mark for a mistake. In 1961, coins minted in Philadelphia usually had no mint mark. But here's where the story gets interesting. Certain coins from this year and location had incredibly rare striking errors. Errors that transformed them from everyday change into historic, high-value treasures. And these coins are in high demand today, especially as more collectors and investors flood into the rare coin market looking for the next million-dollar find. Here's the moment that changed everything. A coin collector at a modest estate sale spots an old Jefferson nickel with no mint mark. It looked normal until under a magnifier, he saw doubling in the letters, unusually sharp steps on Monticello, and crisp details indicating a full strike. After grading, the coin was authenticated as a rare 1961 error coin, one of the finest known, and it sold for a jaw-dropping $688,000 at auction. Let that sink in for a second. A 5-cent coin, selling for more than a luxury house. That's not a typo. And with only a handful of these coins ever found in mint state condition, the demand is only growing fast. The coin market is heating up. Wealthy collectors, investors, and even institutions are now fighting for ownership of top-graded U.S. nickels. Why? Because rare coins are tangible, finite assets that grow in value over time. Now you might be asking, what if I don't know how to tell if my 1961 nickel is valuable? Don't worry. Stay with me because in just a moment I'll reveal exactly what to look for and how to cash in. But first, a quick question. How many nickels have you ignored over the years? Left behind in your car console? Dropped between couch cushions? Dismissed as worthless? I bet you'll never look at spare change the same way again. So how do you know if your 1961 nickel is the golden ticket? Look closely. No mint mark under Monticello? Check. Are there full steps at the base of Monticello with crisp, uninterrupted detail? Even better. Now, inspect for doubling on "In God We Trust" or the date. That's when you bring in a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. If it scores MS65 or higher, you're not just holding a rare coin, you're holding an appreciating asset worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And here's where the urgency kicks in. As the market booms and more people become aware of this coin's value, competition rises. Once more of these coins surface, and they will, the ceiling could shift. But right now, in this rare window of high demand and low supply, sellers have the advantage. If you wait too long, you could miss the prime moment to cash in. Now, you may be thinking, but what if I don't have this exact coin? That's okay. This story isn't just about the 1961 no mint mark nickel. It's about waking up to what might already be in your hands. Because this isn't a one-time event. Coins from your childhood, your parents' collections, estate sales, thrift shops. They could be worth tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if you never check, you'll never know. Think of your coins as silent lottery tickets. And you've just been shown the winning numbers, so here's your next move. Dig out those jars, open that shoebox, and start looking. Because while you're watching this, someone else is getting their 1961 Jefferson nickel graded and cashing in. Will it be you next? And if you want to know which other coins in your collection might be hiding shocking six-figure secrets, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, because in the next video we're uncovering another coin that recently sold for over $1.20 million. And yes, it's another coin most people throw away without a second thought. Welcome back to Numisnook Coins. You know that old is gold, but these rare Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickels coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend these nickels. You are lucky if you have one of these. So please watch complete video for numismatic treasure. Let's start this. Imagine opening an old shoebox from the attic, and inside, mixed among dusty trinkets and forgotten keys, you find a single coin. It looks ordinary, a bit worn, nothing fancy, just a 1962 nickel with Thomas Jefferson's face staring out like he's keeping a secret. But here's the twist. This one coin, yes, this little piece of metal with no mint mark, could be worth over $623,000. That's right, more than $500,000. And it's real. It's happening right now in the US collector's market. One coin, one error, one life-changing discovery. Now ask yourself, is that coin in your house right now? Because it very well could be. The year was 1962. The US was in the midst of the Cold War. The Cuban Missile Crisis was brewing, and America was shifting its identity. Amidst all this, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia produced a batch of Jefferson nickels. Nothing unusual at first glance, except for one tiny missing detail: the mint mark. Or rather, the lack of one. That small absence is exactly what makes this coin so desirable today. But let's take a step back. What makes this coin so valuable isn't just the minting error. It's the combination of rarity, condition, historical context, and high demand from elite collectors. Think of it like this. Some people are chasing NFTs or crypto, but the real silent boom? It's in rare coins like this one. Coins that the average person is tossing into tip jars, not realizing they're worth a luxury car or a mansion. Now, here's where it gets exciting. A verified 1962 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark, graded in near-perfect condition, recently sold for a mind-blowing $623,000 at auction. Let that sink in. That's more than many people's homes. So what's driving this surge in value? We're seeing a perfect storm. Rising interest in tangible assets, nostalgic demand, and a shrinking pool of surviving rare errors. Collectors, especially those in the 40 to 70 age bracket, are aggressively acquiring these coins. They're not just buying collectibles. They're investing in history, prestige, and wealth preservation. And before you say, well, I wouldn't know how to tell if my coin is valuable, don't worry. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, where to sell it, and how to potentially turn loose change into life-changing money. But first, let's reset the mood with a quick laugh. Isn't it funny how we spent decades trying not to lose a nickel under the couch, only to find out that losing one could have made us rich? So, what exactly sets this coin apart? The 1962 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark was supposed to be minted in Philadelphia. Coins from this mint typically don't carry a mark, but a small batch was produced with such high-quality errors that collectors went wild. Combine that with a nearly flawless condition, and what you've got is a collector's dream. Now, here's the cliffhanger. There are fewer than 10 known examples of this kind in pristine, investment-grade condition. And guess what? Experts believe more are out there. In coffee cans, dresser drawers, and those big glass jugs filled with pocket change. You don't need a metal detector or a time machine, you just need a keen eye and maybe a little luck. Now here's the million-dollar question, literally. What do you do if you think you've got one of these coins? Don't go to your local pawn shop. Don't list it on eBay. And definitely don't spend it on a coffee. Instead, get it professionally graded by a trusted authority like PCGS or NGC. This isn't just about selling a coin. It's about unlocking hidden wealth. A collector in Florida held onto a rare coin for 10 years, unsure of its worth, until he finally had it appraised and walked away with $498,000. That could be your story. That could be your legacy. Imagine what you could do with that kind of money. Pay off your mortgage. Travel the world. Set your kids or grandkids up for life. We're not just talking coins. We're talking about freedom, options, security, wealth. But here's the catch. The clock is ticking. The rare coin market is hot right now, but trends shift. The next big wave of coins is coming, and the value curve could change. Don't be the person who finds out they had a fortune in their sock drawer after the peak passes. So check your change. Search your jars. Call your parents or grandparents. You never know who might be sitting on gold and not even realize it. Stay tuned, because in the next video, we'll reveal the top 3 coin dealers who are paying premium prices for rare nickels right now, and how you can sell without getting scammed. Hit subscribe so you don't miss out, because your financial breakthrough might be closer than you think. What if I told you the key to living a life of freedom, luxury, and zero financial stress might already be sitting in your junk drawer? Or jingling in your pocket right now? Yes, one unassuming coin, an ordinary-looking 1973 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark, has shocked the numismatic world by skyrocketing in value, all the way to a staggering $523,000. Let that sink in. $500,000 for a 5-cent piece. You're not dreaming. This isn't clickbait. And no, you're not too late. I end this video. We're diving deep into the untold story of this rare American treasure, why it's suddenly in explosive demand, and how people just like you, average collectors, retirees, even complete beginners, are cashing in on this tiny metallic lottery ticket. But don't blink, because this opportunity has a timer ticking on it, and you do not want to miss your window. Let's rewind for a moment. It's 1973. Gas is cheap. Nixon is in office. Nobody's thinking twice about nickels. But behind the scenes at the Philadelphia Mint, a quiet oversight occurred. A batch of Jefferson nickels was released with no mint mark, something that wasn't supposed to happen. For decades, these coins passed through vending machines, lunch counters, and pockets unnoticed. Until one day, someone looked closely, very closely. That missing mint mark turned out to be more than just an accident. It made the coin exceptionally rare, a true outlier in American coinage. It's like finding a diamond in a field of gravel. And now, collectors, investors, and auction houses are scrambling to get their hands on this ultra-rare error coin. Sounds crazy? Maybe. But crazy is how fortunes are made. The most jaw-dropping part. One of these very coins sold recently for $523,000. Not because it's made of gold or encrusted with jewels, but because it's a perfect storm of scarcity, condition, and demand. And get this, there are still more out there. Possibly thousands, hiding in drawers, jars, coin rolls, maybe even your wallet. Now, imagine the life that kind of windfall could unlock. Picture it. Waking up in a home you own outright, not rent. Traveling the world without watching your credit card balance. Retiring early. Helping your family. Living not just comfortably, but abundantly. And all because you took 10 minutes to learn what most people overlook. By the way, have you checked your coins yet? No? Seriously, grab a flashlight. I'll wait. Just kidding, I won't. But don't worry. I'll show you exactly what to look for in just a moment. But before that, have you ever wondered why some people stumble into generational wealth, while others grind for years and barely get ahead? Spoiler, it's not always about working harder. It's about spotting the hidden leverage in front of you. And right now, rare coins are that leverage. And the 1973 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel? It's the holy grail of hidden leverage. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but what if I don't have one of these coins? Isn't this just another case of good luck for someone else? Well, that's like walking into a candy store, seeing golden wrappers, and walking right back out because you might not find the golden ticket. Don't be that person. Don't miss the treasure because you assumed it wasn't there. Besides, when's the last time your latte came with a $500,000 return on investment? Stick with me, because up next, I'm going to show you exactly how to identify this nickel, how to verify its authenticity, and where to sell it for top dollar. Without getting ripped off, here's what to look for. First, flip the nickel and look for Monticello on the reverse. That's the famous home of Thomas Jefferson. Now check the front. Do you see a mint mark next to Monticello? No? That's a good start. But here's the kicker. Most Philadelphia coins from 1973 do have no mint mark. So, what makes this one worth hundreds of thousands? Condition.
Detail.
Error type. The rarest of the rare are those struck with proof dies, have doubled features, or exhibit sharp details under magnification. Some even show doubling around Jefferson's eye or the words, "In God we trust." Combine that with flawless condition and you've got a monster coin. Auction houses like Heritage and Stack's Bowers are begging for specimens. And the private collector market is going wild. Values are climbing every year. And as these coins vanish into elite collections, the scarcity multiplies. Translation: if you find one, you hold power. You control the price. You decide the terms. But here's the truth bomb. This window is closing. As more people become aware of this nickel, the market will saturate. Prices could plateau. Collectors could hoard them. Your best moment to act? Right now, while the buzz is red hot and buyers are still aggressively paying top dollar. This is more than coin collecting. This is legacy building. This is what wealthy families pass down, not just wealth, but wisdom. The ability to spot value where others see none. And hey, if a tiny, overlooked coin can change your life, what else are you missing? So, go check your jars, your drawers, that old shoebox of coins from Grandpa's attic. Because your dream home, your dream life, your freedom might be sitting in there right now. And in the next video, I'm going to reveal 2 more coins even rarer than this nickel, one of which has gone completely unnoticed by the mainstream, and it's worth millions. Subscribe. Hit that bell. This isn't just about coins. It's about changing your life 5 cents at a time. What if I told you that a seemingly ordinary nickel in your drawer, one you might have tossed into a vending machine without a second thought, could be worth over $566,000 today? Yes, a nickel. 5 cents. Now, what if I told you that it's not just a rumor, but a real, confirmed sale? This isn't clickbait. This is the story of the 1974 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel, a coin hiding in plain sight, capable of flipping your financial future on its head. So before you brush it off as pocket change, listen carefully. That tiny coin could be your golden ticket to the kind of life most people only dream about. The year was 1974. America was in flux, Vietnam was ending, Nixon had resigned, and the economy was shifting. But quietly, behind the scenes at the Philadelphia Mint, something happened. Something unintentional. A batch of Jefferson nickels left the presses without any mint mark. An anomaly, a ghost in the machine, never meant to exist. And just like that, a rare error coin was born. For decades, these coins floated through hands and cash registers, barely noticed. But collectors and experts, those with trained eyes and the hunger for something rare, began whispering about a nickel that shouldn't exist. A 1974 Jefferson nickel with no P mint mark, a unicorn in the coin world. And here's where it gets jaw-dropping. One of these coins recently sold for an eye-watering $566,000. That's not a typo. That's a 5-cent coin turning into more than $500,000. Now, take a breath. Go ahead, laugh a little. A nickel worth more than your house? Sounds like a late-night infomercial, right? But it's not. It's fact. And you may have one sitting in your coin jar right now, completely unnoticed. Let's talk numbers, because they don't lie. The rare 1974 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel is what numismatists call a conditional rarity. That means even though it's old, it's not just the age that gives it value, it's the flaw. That missing mint mark from Philadelphia creates a needle in a haystack situation. And the market loves that. Scarcity drives demand, and demand drives price. Now here's where this gets exciting. Buyers are actively looking for these coins. Auction houses are fielding calls. Private collectors are writing blank checks. Wealth managers are now consulting coin experts. Why? Because hard assets like rare coins are exploding in value, especially in uncertain economic times. And the 1974 no-mint mark nickel is at the top of the want list. Let that sink in. A simple error, a tiny missing letter, has turned this coin into a treasure map for those smart enough to recognize it. And here's something else that'll light a fire under you. More and more of these coins are being pulled out of circulation every day, which means the window to find one, if you have one, is closing fast. This is the part of the story where urgency matters. The clock is ticking. Every moment you wait, someone else is selling one, cashing in, and walking away with a six-figure check. So, here's the real question. What's in your pocket? Have you checked? Have you gone through those old jars, that drawer of change in your kitchen, the dusty box of coins in your garage that your grandfather gave you? Imagine holding a nickel in your hand and realizing you're looking at more than $500,000. Imagine what that kind of money could do for you. Pay off your mortgage, retire early, start a business, travel first class, change the direction of your life completely, not someday but today. And here's the kicker. This is just one coin. There are hundreds of rare coins like this out there, sitting in silence, waiting to be found. The 1974 no-mint Mark Jefferson nickel is just the tip of the iceberg. What if you're sitting on millions and don't even know it yet? You owe it to yourself to find out. You owe it to your future. And we're here to help you do just that. Because in a world where wealth often feels out of reach, your shot at something extraordinary might just be sitting in the palm of your hand, disguised as 5 cents. Now, you don't want to miss what's coming next. In our next video, we'll reveal 3 more coins from the 1970s and 80s, common-looking but shockingly rare, each worth over $250,000 in today's market. One of them was found in a school lunch line. Seriously, what if I told you there's a single nickel, yes, just 5 cents, that could change your life? A coin that could turn your junk drawer into a gold mine. Today, we're diving deep into a seemingly ordinary 1978 Jefferson nickel with a missing D mint mark. That's anything but ordinary. One recently made headlines, valued at an astonishing $758,000. Could you have one too? Or worse, did you already spend it without knowing? Stick around, this could be the most valuable 10 minutes of your life. The hidden fortune in a 5-cent coin. The 1978 Jefferson nickel error that shook the market. The year was 1978. While disco fever danced through America and gas was just 63 cents a gallon, something slipped quietly through the U.S. Mint in Denver. A Jefferson nickel without its mint mark. Just one tiny omission, the missing D, turned this mundane piece of metal into a historic rarity. Now, imagine this: millions of coins produced, but only a handful with this flaw ever known to exist. Most people ignored it. Some tossed it into tip jars. A few lucky souls held on, unaware of the ticking time bomb of value they possessed. But coin collectors? Oh, they knew. They saw the signs, the misprint, the alignment, the shimmer of a coin unlike the rest. And they paid attention. Fast forward to today, and that very coin is turning heads, moving auctions, and sparking bidding wars north of $750,000. Let that sink in. Somewhere in America, someone may have bought a coffee with a $758,000 nickel. Makes that $8 latte hurt just a bit more, doesn't it? Act 2. The obsession. Why this coin is so valuable. So, what's the big deal with a missing mint mark? Why are collectors and investors so obsessed? It's all about rarity, condition, and story. You see, the U.S. Mint has rigorous quality control. A missing mint mark isn't just an error. It's a miracle. Only a handful of coins escape unnoticed, making them ultra-rare. The 1978 No-D Jefferson nickel is like finding a needle in a haystack. If that needle were made of platinum and signed by Thomas Jefferson himself. But it's not just about rarity. It's about demand. Today's collectors aren't just hobbyists. They're investors, wealth builders, legacy chasers. With rare coins like this surging in value year after year, they're seen as tangible assets, hedges against inflation, portfolios you can hold in your hand. This isn't pocket change anymore. This is your potential passport to generational wealth. And here's where it gets really exciting. This specific 1978 No-D nickel is not just sitting in museums. It's in personal collections, estate sales, forgotten jars in basements across America. Yours could be next. And the condition? One recently graded at nearly perfect mint state condition. It's the one that hit $758,000. That's not a typo. That's your wake-up call. But how can you know if you have it? How do you identify the difference between a life-changing coin and a common 5-cent piece? That's exactly what we're diving into next. Let's make this real. Go grab your change jar. Look for a 1978 Jefferson nickel. Now flip it. Is there a mint mark? Look near Monticello's side. There should be a tiny D for Denver. If it's missing, and it's not a worn-down error, you may be holding one of the rarest coins in modern American history. Collectors are actively scouring eBay, estate auctions, coin shows, offering thousands, tens of thousands, and yes, even hundreds of thousands for top-condition examples. Coin dealers have reported sudden spikes in demand for late 70s Jefferson nickels. The market is hot, and the window to sell at peak value is now. This is not just a story about a coin, it's a call to action. Would you let a $758,000 opportunity sit in your couch cushions because it's just a nickel? The truth is, rare coins are one of the last unregulated frontiers of wealth. No bank fees, no stock crashes, just history, rarity, and demand. This coin is the symbol of what's possible when you start paying attention to the small details that others overlook. Closing hook, inspirational tone with urgency. This is your chance to turn a small piece of American history into your future fortune. If you're holding on to old coins, it's time to look at them differently. Not as spare change, but as silent assets, hidden wealth waiting to be discovered. Because in this world, the people who build wealth aren't always the loudest. They're the most aware. And hey, if you don't have the 1978 No-D nickel today, don't worry. Now you know what to look for. Now you're in the game. Because we're just getting started. Subscribe and stay tuned, because next time we'll reveal another everyday coin worth over $1.2 million. You might already have it. What if I told you that a single nickel in your pocket change, yes, just 5 cents, could be worth over $633,000 today? It sounds unbelievable, right? But there's a reason why coin collectors and savvy sellers are scrambling to find this one specific coin. The 1982 D Mint Mark Monticello Jefferson nickel. This isn't just a story about an old coin. This is about missed fortunes hiding in plain sight. And if you're watching this, you might just be sitting on a gold mine without even knowing it. Now, before you rush to the kitchen drawer or that dusty jar of loose change, stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll not only know how to identify this rare error coin, but also understand why it's selling for over $633,000 in today's market. This could change your financial future and your lifestyle forever. Let's rewind to 1982. Gas was cheap, Michael Jackson was releasing Thriller, and the US Mint was undergoing a quiet but significant change in its coin production. That year, they transitioned the composition of several coins to save costs. Subtle changes most Americans never noticed. But with change comes chaos. And chaos is where rare opportunities are born. One such opportunity. A production error involving the 1982 Denver minted Jefferson nickel. You see, most 1982 nickels were struck with a clear, sharp design. But a small batch from the Denver Mint came out with a weak strike, missing key design elements, and most notably, a partially struck or distorted Monticello building on the reverse. This tiny mistake has led to massive value today. So why is this coin so special? Rarity. But not just any rarity, accidental rarity. And in the world of numismatics, that's the jackpot. We're talking about a coin that was never meant to exist this way, and now collectors will pay top dollar, 6 figures and counting, to add it to their vaults. And here's the kicker, most people have no idea what to look for. They're unknowingly spending these treasures at gas stations or tossing them into parking meters. It's like watching someone light a cigar with a $100,000 bill. Okay, quick question. When was the last time you actually looked at a nickel before handing it to the cashier? Be honest. Most people stare at their phones more than their own money. But here's your friendly reminder, your next grocery store run could quite literally cost you a luxury car if you spend the wrong nickel without checking. Wild, right? Now let's get to the real reason you're here. What would an extra $633,000 do for your life right now? Picture this: paying off the mortgage, retiring early, starting that business you've been dreaming about, finally taking your family on that vacation to the Amalfi Coast, not just scrolling past it on Instagram. This is more than a coin. This is a key to freedom, but only if you act before someone else does. And the truth? There's never been a better time to sell rare coins like this. The collectibles market is on fire, driven by high demand, aging collectors, and a new wave of investors looking for tangible, historical assets. This coin is in demand. Right now, private collectors, auction houses, even online platforms are in bidding wars over authenticated versions of this era nickel. One confirmed sale recently stunned the market at over $633,000. That's not hype, that's fact. But here's where it gets even more interesting. There are two other known era coins from the same year that are even rarer, and they've quietly crossed the $1 million threshold at private sales. Want to know which ones? Make sure you hit subscribe because in the next video, we'll unlock that next level of hidden wealth in your pocket. For now, go check your change. Check your drawers. Look in that forgotten coin jar in your attic. Because this isn't just spare change anymore. This is life-changing treasure. You're not just watching this video for entertainment. You're watching because deep down, you know there's more out there waiting for you. So go find it, because the next great American success story might just start with a nickel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below if you think you found one. We're building a community of everyday people turning pocket change into generational wealth. Your fortune might already be in your hands. Don't let it slip away. Have you ever held a small piece of metal in your hand, never knowing it could be worth almost $500,000? Imagine rummaging through your coin jar, reaching past quarters, dimes, maybe even some lint, and pulling out a coin that could rewrite your financial future. Sounds unbelievable? Well, buckle up because today we're diving deep into the legendary 1988 D Mint Mark Jefferson nickel, a rare era coin that has set the numismatic world ablaze and could put you on the path to a wealthier lifestyle. Let's be honest. Most of us overlook the humble nickel. It jingles in our pockets, vanishes in couch cushions, or gets tossed into coffee shop tip jars without a second thought. But there's one version of the 1988 D Monticello Jefferson nickel that has collectors worldwide reaching for their magnifying glasses and their wallets. One of these rare specimens recently surfaced with a shocking market value of $488,000. Yes, you heard that right, just under $500,000 for a 5-cent coin. And here's the kicker. You might already own one. Now, let's talk about why this nickel is turning heads. The 1988 D Jefferson nickel is already considered collectible by default, but the one we're focused on today? It's a minting anomaly, a die error that slipped through the cracks of the US Mint's rigid quality control. This particular coin shows dramatic doubling, a misplaced or ghosted D mint mark, and unique features around Monticello steps, details so rare, they've only been confirmed in a handful of known specimens. Some experts call it the ghost nickel because it seems too rare to be real. And yet, it's very real, very valuable, and still possibly hiding in plain sight. Take a moment. Think about that old coin collection gathering dust in the attic. Or the change you scooped into a mason jar 10 years ago and forgot about. This isn't just about coins. It's about opportunity. The kind that knocks once and only for those who are awake enough to answer. And by the way, don't let the word error fool you. In the coin world, error means gold. Scarcity breeds demand, and demand drives price. Right now, collectors, investors, and high-end dealers are on the hunt for rare error nickels like this one. With each new sale, prices climb. The demand is high, the supply is next to none, and the window to act is narrowing. Now you might be wondering, why didn't I check my coins sooner? Don't worry, you're not alone. Most people don't realize that the path to financial transformation could begin in their sock drawer. I mean, who knew a dusty jar labeled Vegas Change 2003 could be a secret vault? But here's where the story gets even crazier. The coin that fetched nearly $500,000 didn't come from an elite collector or a museum. It was found by an ordinary American, a regular person just like you. They spotted something odd about their coin, had it appraised, and boom, their life changed forever. Let that sink in for a moment. One coin, one decision, one moment of curiosity, and they're now fielding calls from top auction houses. That's the kind of shift we're talking about. So what does this mean for you? It means you need to check your coins. Today. Not tomorrow. Not when you get around to it. Because these opportunities are disappearing fast, and once they're gone, they're gone. High net worth collectors are sweeping the market clean. And each time one of these 1988 D. Jefferson-era nickels sells, the remaining few become exponentially more valuable. Imagine being one of the few to cash in. No more 9 to 5. No more worrying about retirement. No more trading time for money. This is the kind of financial leap that can fund your dreams, transform your lifestyle, and give you the freedom you've been craving. This isn't just about selling a coin. It's about claiming your piece of American history and your ticket to a new life. And if you think this is the only coin worth big money, oh no, this is just the beginning. There are dozens of US coins, quietly appreciating in value, flying under the radar. In our next video, we're going to expose another coin that could be worth even more than the 1988 D nickel. But you'll have to stick with us to see which one it is. Because the world of rare coins isn't just a hobby, it's a hidden economy. And those who understand it early reap the biggest rewards. So what's stopping you? Check your change. Dig up those old boxes. That one coin could be waiting, and it could be worth hundreds of thousands. Don't let it slip through your fingers. Hit that subscribe button, because in our next episode, we reveal the rare penny that's been selling for 6 figures and might be hiding right in your wallet. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. You're cleaning out your old change jar, bored, maybe even thinking about tossing the whole thing into a Coinstar machine. But tucked between dusty pennies and worn dimes is something that could be worth over $500,000. That's not fantasy. That's the reality of one small, seemingly ordinary coin, the 1996 D. Monticello Jefferson nickel, a coin with an error so rare, it recently shocked collectors when it fetched $521,000 on the open market. Sounds insane, right? But here's the thing. Coins like this are out there, in old drawers, forgotten piggy banks, and inherited boxes of junk change. And it's not just collectors who are scoring big. It's regular people, just like you, turning accidental treasures into life-changing wealth. So what makes this nickel so valuable? Why are experts calling it the ghost of American coin errors? And most importantly, how do you know if you have one? Stay with me, because by the end of this video you'll know exactly what to look for, how to spot it, and how this one coin could be your ticket to a wealthy lifestyle, without ever setting foot in a bank or winning the lottery. Back in 1996, the Denver Mint produced millions of Jefferson nickels. To most eyes, they were just like any other coin. Thomas Jefferson staring nobly on one side, Monticello on the other. But what slipped through the cracks, literally and figuratively, was a stunning mint error that transformed a 5-cent coin into a 6-figure fortune. We're talking about a rare double die, extreme strike misalignment, and a weakly stamped D mint mark so off-center that it barely registers. This wasn't your garden variety mint mistake. It was a perfect storm of rarity, timing, and collector hunger. Now here's where things get juicy. Experts believe only a handful of these error coins exist, and most haven't been discovered yet. That's right, they're still out there. And guess what? The one that sold for $521,000? It was found not by a professional collector, but by a retiree in Colorado, just sorting through her late husband's coin box. One lucky find, and her life changed forever. Are you feeling that little twinge of possibility yet? You should. Because this isn't a fairy tale. It's happening. And every coin in your house right now could be a silent jackpot waiting to be cashed in. Let's get real for a moment. Every year, thousands of rare coins slip through the hands of unsuspecting people. Don't be one of them. If you're holding on to old coins, or inherited a collection you don't know what to do with, now is the time to act. The demand for rare US coinage has never been higher. High net worth buyers, private collectors, and auction houses are in a bidding war for coins like this, and they're willing to pay big. The 1996 D. Jefferson nickel isn't just valuable. It's a symbol of how easily overlooked fortune can be. And the window to profit from this red-hot market is open right now. With inflation soaring and tangible assets more sought after than ever, rare coins are no longer just collectibles. They're investments. And yours could be the next headline. Quick question. What's crazier, buying a scratch-off ticket or checking your coin jar for a $500,000 nickel? Spoiler, the scratch-off doesn't win. Now, here's your cliffhanger. Coming up, I'm going to show you exactly how to authenticate this error, what top buyers are really looking for, and how one small variation in the Monticello design could mean the difference between 5 cents and $500,000. So don't click away. Because if you've ever dreamed of escaping the paycheck-to-paycheck grind, upgrading your lifestyle, and unlocking the hidden value sitting in your home, this next part is where it all comes together. You've got the knowledge. You know the coin. You've seen the value. Now it's your move. Check those coins. Go through that forgotten box in your closet. Because the next $521,000 nickel could already be yours. And if you think this was exciting, wait until you see the 1982 D. Roosevelt dime error that's turning heads in 2025. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Imagine waking up one ordinary morning, reaching into an old coffee tin of forgotten change, and unknowingly holding a coin worth over $423,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single, seemingly insignificant nickel from 1998, struck with a small but powerful D mint mark and a hidden error that could change your life. This is not a fantasy. It's a very real possibility. And people just like you, in towns, cities, and quiet neighborhoods across America, are stumbling upon fortunes sitting in old drawers, dusty jars, or tucked away in the glove box of a decades-old truck. Now, here's the kicker. You might be sitting on one right now, and the clock is ticking. Back in 1998, as the U.S. Mint continued its circulation of the Jefferson Monticello nickel, a batch of coins minted in Denver accidentally slipped through the quality checks. These coins bear a subtle but valuable die error that collectors today are desperately hunting down. This wasn't just any mistake. It was a misalignment that created a visual anomaly near the Monticello building on the reverse side, and on some rare pieces, Jefferson's profile appears doubled or shows unusual where patterns that never came from circulation. Let me pause for a moment and ask, have you ever looked at a coin so closely you noticed something off? Maybe it felt different in your fingers? Or the design looked oddly shadowed. You might have laughed and tossed it back into the jar. But what if that oddity was the very thing that made it a collector's holy grail? Now, let's talk money. Real money. The 1998 D. Jefferson nickel error has recently commanded a jaw-dropping $423,000 at auction. Why? Because serious collectors and investors are on a mission, not just to find one, but to own one. It's not just about numismatics anymore. It's about power, prestige, and legacy. These coins are wealth-building assets, and their value is climbing faster than you can say compound interest. Don't believe it? Consider this: more millionaires in America are emerging not from tech, but from collectibles. And rare coins, especially U.S. Mint error coins, are now seen as a tangible hedge against inflation, stock market crashes, and economic uncertainty. The elite aren't just collecting. They're investing, insuring, and building dynasties one nickel at a time. Quick question: how many nickels do you think you've handled in your life? Hundreds? Thousands? And now ask yourself, did you throw away a fortune without even knowing it? And yes, it's okay if you're now staring at your change jar like it's a treasure chest from a pirate movie. Just don't start talking to it yet. Right now, dealers, auction houses, and private collectors are on the hunt. We're talking bidding wars erupting online. Coin shows filled with whispers of the next big find. Quiet emails turning into six-figure wire transfers. And here's what most people don't realize. Many of these coins are being found by everyday folks, just like you. You don't need a museum vault or a millionaire's last name. All you need is the right coin and the right knowledge. The 1998 D. Monticello nickel error is in high demand, with values skyrocketing and only a limited verified number in circulation. This creates a sense of urgency and exclusivity that sends collectors scrambling. If you find one, you're not just holding a rare coin, you're holding leverage, legacy, and a lightning rod for wealth. This is where the story turns personal. What will you do next? Will you brush this off, close the video, and go back to life as usual, while someone else uncovers the coin you could have claimed? Or will you dig deeper, search your drawers, check your piggy banks, your car cup holders, and step into a new chapter? Because this isn't just about coins. It's about choices, about finding hidden value in the places you've long overlooked, about rewriting your financial story with something as small and simple as a nickel. And here's the cliffhanger. This 1998 D. Jefferson nickel is not the only error coin out there worth a fortune. In fact, what if I told you there's another US coin floating around with even more shocking value, and you're even more likely to own it? That's exactly what we're covering in the next video, but only if you stick around. If you're serious about selling rare coins and building a wealthy lifestyle from what you already have, you won't want to miss it.so. Take action today. Check your coins. Check your change. Because what looks like 5 cents might just be your first step to financial freedom. Don't forget to subscribe for more life-changing coin discoveries. Leave a comment if you found something rare, and share this video with someone who might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. Imagine waking up one morning, reaching into an old jar of coins on your dresser, and pulling out what seems like just another nickel. But it's not. It's a 1999 Monticello Jefferson nickel, and it just changed your life. Because that very coin, yes, that worn-looking 5-cent piece, could be worth up to $488,000 on today's market. Let that sink in for a moment. A single coin, nearly $500,000. Now, before you laugh and say, "That's impossible, it's just pocket change," ask yourself, how many coins have you walked past, ignored, or tossed in a drawer without a second thought? What if one of those was the key to a completely different lifestyle? One filled with financial freedom, luxury, and peace of mind. You see, the world of rare coin collecting isn't just for historians and museum curators anymore. It's become a fast-moving, high-stakes game of hidden treasures, and ordinary people across the U.S. are cashing in every day. This is the story of one nickel, one error, and how it's creating a ripple effect through the numismatic world, and possibly your own wallet. The 1999 Jefferson nickel wasn't supposed to be a big deal. Minted in Denver, it was part of a routine batch of nickels, millions of them produced that year. But something went wrong, or very right depending on how you look at it. A rare mint error occurred. The details? Subtle, mysterious, powerful. In a handful of these coins, experts discovered striking abnormalities, misalignments, double dies, weak steps, and even ghostly shadows around Jefferson's profile and the Monticello building. But the rarest of them all? A mistruck version with deep die clashes, off-center design elements, and an unmistakable mint mark anomaly. That's the one collectors go wild for. That's the one dealers are offering upwards of $488,000 for. And that's the one still hiding in coin jars, junk drawers, and inherited collections across the country. Here's the twist. Most people don't even realize they have it. They toss it aside, assuming it's just another nickel. That's where opportunity lives. That's where your new life could begin. Because when the market discovers a rare coin like this, demand doesn't trickle, it explodes. And in a world where scarcity meets desire, prices don't climb, they skyrocket. You might be wondering, how do I even know if I have one of these? That's the excitement. That's the treasure hunt. That's the reason thousands of people have started digging through their coin stashes with renewed intensity. Not because it's cute, because it's lucrative. Now, if you're thinking, well, I did once keep a nickel because it looked weird, but then I used it to pay for coffee, congratulations, you might have just tipped a barista into early retirement. Funny, right? But that's not far from the truth. These mistakes from the U.S. Mint, though rare, are like golden tickets. And not just because of their age or historical value, but because of the story they carry. Stories that collectors will pay hundreds of thousands to own. And the best part? There's no need to go digging in a gold mine. The gold mine is already in your house. As of now, documented sales and private auctions have confirmed the value of these error coins climbing as high as $488,000. And as the numismatic community grows and wealthy collectors compete, prices are projected to continue rising. Every single coin in circulation is a ticking clock. Every sale drives up scarcity. And every day that passes could be one less opportunity to cash in. So here's the urgency. The window is narrowing. Once these rare 1999 Jefferson era nickels are found, they vanish into private collections, often never to be sold again. The time to act is right now. Don't wait for a museum to tell you what your coin is worth. Take ownership of your own wealth. Get your nickels checked by a reputable dealer or certified grading service immediately. You could be holding your retirement in your hand and not even know it. This isn't about gambling. It's not about luck. It's about knowledge. And knowledge leads to wealth. That's why coin dealers, private investors, and auction houses are paying top dollar for these rare finds. Because they know what they're doing. Now it's your turn. So what happens if you do find it? What's next after holding a $500,000 coin in your palm? Do you sell it? Frame it? Insure it? Or do you unlock a new chapter of your life? One where your story becomes the next legend whispered in numismatic circles. And here's the cliffhanger. The 1999 D. Jefferson nickel is just one of the hidden gems floating through American hands right now. If this 5-cent piece can be worth nearly $500,000, what else is out there? In your change, in your basement, in that box your grandfather left you. Make sure you hit subscribe and turn on notifications because in our next video, we're revealing 3 more common coins worth 6 figures or more, and one of them might be in your wallet right now. What if I told you that a simple, everyday nickel, yes, just 5 cents, could be your ticket to a 6-figure windfall? Imagine finding a coin in your old drawer, one that turns out to be worth over $651,000. This isn't fiction. This is real. And the coin in question, the 2000 P. Jefferson nickel with the Monticello reverse. A U.S. Mint anomaly that has collectors, dealers, and treasure hunters scrambling to find it before it disappears forever. Now, don't scroll away, because what you're about to hear could literally change the way you look at your pocket change, and possibly your entire financial future. This isn't just a coin. It's a golden opportunity hiding in plain sight, and those who understand its true value are already cashing in. You're not late, but you are on the clock. Let's take a journey into this mystery, this hidden fortune, this little-known secret of American coinage that's lighting up the collector's market like never before. Back in the year 2000, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia produced millions of Jefferson nickels. At first glance, the design looks ordinary, the stoic image of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, and his iconic Monticello home on the reverse. But amidst this massive production run, something unusual happened. A small batch of these nickels was struck with a flaw so rare, so perfectly imperfect, that experts now classify it as one of the most valuable errors in modern coin history. We're talking about a dramatic die clash, misalignment, or even full-step Monticello anomalies that took an average 5-cent piece and turned it into an artifact of desire. These aren't coins you'd spend. They're coins that collectors would spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to acquire. One recently sold for $651,000 at a major auction house. An almost unheard of valuation for a nickel minted in the 21st century. And here's the real kicker. These rare nickels are still out there. Some are sitting in change jars, forgotten collections, or handed down from a late relative. You could be one search away from holding one in your hand. Let that sink in. Now, before you rush to flip your couch cushions or check your coin folder, ask yourself this. Have you ever ignored something small, thinking it had no worth, only to find out later it was priceless? Fear of missing out doesn't even begin to describe what's at stake here. And hey, if you're thinking, a nickel worth more than my car? Yes, exactly. That's like finding out your old Beanie Baby is now worth more than your 401k. But while nostalgia can fade, hard numismatic value is here to stay. You don't have to be a coin expert. You just need to know what to look for. And that's what I'm here to show you. So how do you know if your 2000 P. Jefferson nickel is worth big money? It's all in the details. Look closely at the Monticello building on the reverse. Are the steps fully visible and sharply defined? That could indicate a rare full steps variety, one of the key attributes collectors pay top dollar for. Does the coin exhibit strange markings, die cracks, or off-center strikes? Those could be error signs pushing its value into the 6-figure range. And what about the P mint mark? That tiny P might as well stand for potential, because when placed in the right conditions, it represents the doorway to a financial breakthrough. We're seeing demand skyrocket, with private collectors and major auction houses chasing these nickels more aggressively than ever before. And with fewer verified examples surfacing each year, the window is closing fast. Now here's where it gets really exciting. I'm going to show you in the next video how to identify the rare die markings on a 2000 P. Jefferson nickel using nothing but a magnifying glass and a flashlight. But here's the catch. I'll also be sharing 2 other modern coins currently valued over $1 million. And most people have no idea they exist. So if you're still watching, congratulations. You're no longer just curious, you're a seeker. Someone ready to dig up the forgotten treasures of the past and turn them into a wealthy future. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Go check your collection. Raid that piggy bank. Look through your inherited coin jars. The treasure isn't buried. It's just hidden in plain sight.